I like got $50 in a brain cell. Very interesting. I would love to be able to sing in my natural accent. If you are singing Gracie Abrams songs and you're like, Zoe, how do I breathe? Kia ora and welcome. My name's Zoe Stevie and I'm your vocal coach for today because we're going to take a look at Gracie Abrams with Minibar. I've never heard this song before, but I'm going to be helping you understand how is she creating these sounds, why is she creating them, and what does she do to her voice so that you can make the same sounds at home. Some of your favorite singers are extremely technical masterclasses in vocal techniques. So if you want to learn more about how you can just sing better by learning from them, then hit that subscribe button because I'm obsessed. Gracie Abrams, let's see what you're up to with Minibar was my mouse.
The debut of her song Minibar from her new album Daughter from Hell. Once again, Gracie Abrams.
I'm at the party in Minibar. Came here alone, bet you can't tell. I'll eat the cake and the caviar. Break down the door like a bombshell. I'll start the bit, then I take it too far. Second guess it, but oh well.
Look, you hear Gracie's voice and you immediately know that it's her singing. So we've got this this slightly higher larynx position. She's got quite a bright sound. And I mean, that's bright is always kind of like subjective, right? Like bright in terms of what? We've got the and she's got a little bit of constriction going on top of that breathy higher sound. Let's watch that again.
I'm at the party in Minibar. Came here alone, bet you can't tell. I'll eat the cake and the caviar. Break down the door like a bombshell.
Break down the door like a bombshell. So we've got that. I would probably call this a little bit of almost falsetto. It could be. But what it could also be is essentially thinner vocal folds. And we've got the vocal folds are open to allow that breath to come through. She's constricting above the vocal folds in order to, we've got to have some tone come through. And that's when she's going low, there's not really a lot of resonance in those low notes. Ba, ba, da, instead of ba, da, da. We're not bringing those vocal folds into closure. Now, that's neither good nor bad. I'm just saying that this is what she's doing, not like neutrally said.
I'm at the party in Minibar. Came here alone, bet you can't tell. I'll eat the cake and the caviar. Break down the door like a bombshell. I'll start the bit, then I take it too far. Second guess it, but oh well.
And you can hear too far. And you almost felt like she was going to maybe miss the note. She's not, because she's a wonderful musician and there's also her fucking song, yeah? So that's what ends up happening if we don't allow the larynx to come back into a vertical position as we're going lower. So that's quite a classical technique. Not with the breath, I'm not meaning that, but we do that a lot in classical sing with closed vocal folds in order to make it sound like one voice as we're coming down. It helps to keep the brightness. So there's another reason for this bright sound. Actually, let's watch it again.
The cake and the caviar. Break down the door like a bombshell. I'll start the bit, then I take it too far. Second guess it, but oh well. I'm with the girls and the gossipers. Oh.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out like what's going on. So a high larynx position, actually not allowing the larynx to come down with the pitch, is also what can make the sound quite bright for that section. Look, I didn't do this on purpose, but exactly this was what I was working on with a singer last night in their singing lesson. She wanted more resonance and more depth to the sound. Now, this is exactly what she was doing because she was staying up here, but she really wanted to sound like this. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying that sometimes when we get stuck in this one sound, it can be quite bright. Let's just watch that again because I love that she's actually changed now in the chorus a little bit.
Girls and the gossipers. Oh, and they're loud, I'm not
So you can hear, but I'm always subtle when I'm causing trouble. She's up on the G4 there, so it's the G above middle C. That's actually like relatively, I wouldn't say, it's right on the passaggio, which is the area between the chest and the head voice. So when we're up there and we're staying in speech quality, or if we're wanting to stay in that chest voice, we need to make sure that we take the larynx high, and it's almost like we're pretending to be a little and I'm always settled. So it can sound a little bit bright, but she's sort of like going in and out of that sound and breath.
Always subtle when I'm causing trouble. Hate to burst your bubble. I feel weird and think I'm gonna go. I'm at the corner, Minibar. Got $50 and a brain cell. Someone
I like got $50 in a brain cell. So, but we heard that again with that sort of like that breathy tone going lower in the range. In order to achieve that, we leave the larynx in that higher position. This is really giving me like Sixpence None the Richer kind of like, so kiss me beneath the milky twilight. We've got that sort of like same sort of feeling of falsetto with a higher larynx position.
anymore. Got $50 and a brain cell. Someone perceived me kind of scarred. Left empty-handed, but oh well. I took the train and I took it too far. Past the house and the motel. I miss the girls and the gossipers. Oh, and they're loud, I'm mellow. And I'm gone, but hello. Pedal to the
Okay, so now she's brought the vocal folds more together in the second section. So we're not noticing that same constricted sound coming in as we had at the beginning. Interesting, because actually as we go through a song with an increase in breath, or when we have a very breathy sound, and a breath, I'm saying very breathy when I'm saying breath is sustained over a longer period of time rather than being used as an accent. So we got, having on trouble when I'm on, I don't know the fucking words. So we've got that twang coming in there and less breath is being used now. That could be also a way to help with the sustaining or the stamina of the song.
anymore. Got $50 and a brain cell. Someone perceived me kind of scarred. Left empty-handed, but oh well.
And that I left empty-handed, but oh well. Higher larynx and a little bit of tightening probably from the ears, or a little bit of that twang. Got $50 and a minibar and a brain cell.
And I took it too far. Past the house and the motel. I miss the girls and
And same thing, past the house and a hotel. So that H is actually going to be the H, causing the vocal folds to then click together. House and a hotel. But actually, a lot of the secret to these sorts of vocal qualities comes in how we start the sound. And that's exactly why I'm going to be teaching this this will be the first time I've run a live series of classes outside the Vocal Academy in 2 years. So if you want to join my Find Your True Voice course, I'm going to be running it live. You're going to get coaching from me. You can sign up using the link in the description below, because we're talking about why Hannah Towell, bloody words. We're talking about how the sound that the consonant that we're starting the word with and starting the sound with actually impacts the vocal quality that we are going to be heading into.
and they're loud, I'm mellow. And I'm gone, but hello. Pedal to the metal. Think I'm high and everybody knows. But I'm always subtle when I'm causing trouble.
There we go. There we had that's the difference that I'm meaning here. I'm done, I'm hot, and everybody knows. She took the larynx down and allowed the vocal folds to thicken. Let's watch that again.
I'm mellow. And I'm gone, but hello. Pedal to the metal. Think I'm high and everybody knows.
There it again. Think I'm high and everybody knows. So she allowed that larynx to come back down again. It seems so simple, but actually this coordination is relatively difficult, because what often ends up happening is we often feel like we have to create one vocal quality and we stay in that feeling. But actually, to create a consistent tone, we need inconsistent movement of the structures of the voice. So having a pedal to the metal, I think I'm high, but everybody knows. Again, words.
Always subtle when I'm causing trouble. Hate to burst your bubble. I feel weird and think I'm gonna go. I'm at a party do you feel insane? Someone's looking lonely, looking like me. I think I know where
It's very interesting. I would love to be able to sing in my natural accent, and I wonder if this is like her actual accent that she speaks with, because this seems very spoken on pitch. And like, if I was to do that as a New Zealander, it'd just be like game over. Like my throat would be closed.
hate to burst your bubble. I feel weird to think about go.
They go, I feel weird to think about it, man. So we've got that quite tight sound because it's more of a vertical larynx position there. We've got high larynx. I don't know, I've said that a couple of times, but when we're speaking on pitch up there, I feel weird to think about it, man. It's not really actually that high. But when we're up there, we've got those thicker vocal folds. It sounds smaller inside our own heads. It's really weird. But honestly, I would love to be able to sing in my, like my proper accent.
Party, is it just me or do you feel insane? Someone's looking lonely, looking like me. I think I know where I'm at a party. Is it just me or do you feel insane? Someone's looking lonely, and mellow, and I'm gone, but hello.
Okay. How does she do this? Like her song, literally, she doesn't have a single break. It's like the one long note in the whole thing. So if you are singing Gracie Abrams songs and you're like, Zoe, how do I breathe? You need to practice. This is hard. You need to plan when you're going to breathe. I tell you, you've got to plan when you're going to breathe. You can see there, she's taking short, sharp, high breaths. I think that this is also causing now at the end of the song, because of the length of time she's a professional, right? She's doing this a long time. But the amount of upward like the movement upwards of the shoulders, she has to do that because of the guitar. So that's like, you know, we're making more of those short, sharp, high breaths. Also the type of style of singing that she's doing. But I think that might be why we're getting an audible in-breath now at the end of the song.
Someone's looking lonely, looking like me. I think I know where I'm at a party. Is it just me or do you feel insane? Someone's looking lonely, and mellow, and I'm gone, but hello. Pedal to the metal, think I'm high and everybody knows, but I'm always subtle.
So she's got a high and I know, but mellow. We heard a slight darkening going on in the tone there. And look, most singers can do a whole bunch of these different colors as well. So what's happening there? We're getting a bit more vocal fold closure. We just got the larynx coming down a little bit in order to make that sound that tiny bit darker.
When I'm causing trouble, hate to burst your bubble. I feel weird to think I'm gonna go.
I'm causing trouble. Look, when I say things are not very high, I'm talking about in a trained singer. Okay, so everybody's voices sit in different places. And one of the most important things about training is actually knowing where your passaggio is, where do all these changes happen, where are you going, where do you need to do something different in order to go higher in the range. And that's actually what I'm going to be teaching you inside my 3-day Find Your True Voice course masterclass series. Honestly, I've yet to fully name it, but I am so excited. The plan is already there. Just the name has got to be fixed. Okay, so if you want to get in, then join me. Is honestly this is the last time I'm going to be opening up the doors to an external masterclass series outside of the Vocal Academy, because I want to put all my effort into my fantastic students there. But I wanted to do this for you because I hear from so many singers who really struggle with manipulating these sounds and making these stronger vocalizations, but they want to know how can they make that decision themselves rather than have something like just happen because that's what the voice wants to do. We need to change things within the voice. So although I say that might not, I don't think that was very high within Gracie Abrams' sound, but that leads into the sense of she's a singer-songwriter. She has sort of like tending to be sort of like quite storytelling songs. They sort of almost feel like you're sitting down and having a conversation with someone. And so that being in that section of her range feeds into that being in a vertical larynx position with those thicker vocal folds lower down in the range. So that would be about where you found that part of your voice, not just singing it necessarily in Gracie's key. So wow, she's fantastic. I love Gracie Abrams. I think she's such a fantastic songwriter. So check out more of her up here, and just remember, singing is hard because it's like a whole bunch of different coordinations, but it is really about understanding these coordinations within your own voice. And if you want to learn to sing, then I'll see you in the masterclass. Otherwise, happy singing. Mwah! Ka kite anō.